What's up, everyone? Welcome to the King Racing Group Thursday Night Crit. This is the A race from week 2. So there'll be a full race link in the description if you want it. But anyways, here we go. There's a pretty big field. I think we had like 60-ish people. This was my second race of the day. I just done the B race earlier where I was second from that 2-man break that got started within the last 5 laps. So I was fairly tired going into this one, but not too bad. I was still hoping to go with some attacks. Here we are 10 minutes in. There were already a lot of attacks early on. I think there's a group off the front or just going right now. Yeah, you can see them going. There's some gaps kind of opening up here. You can see the leaders going around the corner. We're chasing behind here. And basically my goal is to, kind of same as the B race, get in a break, see what I can do from there. I know I don't have a massive sprint, so being in a break is good. Here I am. It's a big group, and I'm right at the front, so I start chasing this down, doing a pretty big turn, 450 watts. Heart rate's already mid 180s, so this is definitely a hard effort. But they're kind of sitting up here, so I ended up making it across. You can actually see behind now we do have a gap. 2 people jump on me, and there's a bit of a gap to the pack, but nothing really happened. A couple laps later, one other move is going off the front right now. Things eased off for a little bit after that, but another move is going off the front. Things are already split up again. This kind of happened throughout the whole race. There was just like constant attacks, constant field splits, all that kind of stuff, but I'm closing down another move. Ideally, I'd like to be in the moves and not trying to close them down or bridge across, but that's just how it goes sometimes with positioning and where you are in the race when the attacks go. But I have a gap behind. I'm catching up to the break here. You can see here I pretty much make it all the way on, and we have a bit of a gap, but this one ends up coming back together too. Just a really big group. The field's not going to let 15 guys go. They don't want, it's almost like a split at that point, not just a break. So this comes back together. Now we're 30 minutes in. More attacks, pretty much the name of this race, just lots of attacks. There's a group out the front. That rider on the right just attacked to bridge across. You can see that's a pretty solid group, and this time they have a actual gap, and they've been out there for around a lap, so it's a bit more established. It's not coming back quickly. Coming out of this corner, another junior here, he jumps, so I jump on his wheel, trying to, make it up to this break again, make sure I'm not caught out in a bad spot. He's chasing pretty hard. I'm going to do a big effort just to catch the wheel, and behind me there's another gap opening up. There's only 10 riders up there, including some strong, big hitters, so I'm just don't want to do too much work, so I'm just letting him take a pull here. I know this is definitely a dangerous one, and if we sit up here, that it can certainly get away. So luckily another rider comes through, just keeps hitting it and biding my time. Don't want to waste a ton of energy. Still a while to go, 8 or 9 laps, 16 of 23, so yeah, there's still a while left, but we're chasing pretty hard. I wouldn't consider it a all out do or die chase yet, but the pace is still high. I don't want to let him get too far out of sight, get a corner or 2 ahead, and then it's just not manageable to bring it back. This guy takes another pull. I'm just sitting on. Gap's pretty much stabilized at this point. It's not really getting too big. They even kind of look like they're sitting up there. I'm big going in this corner, so that's looking good for us in the pack behind, but you can see it's also strung out single file behind us too, so it's definitely a fast point in the race. Heading down a little hill, you can see up front they're starting to splinter. They're attacking each other, which is also good for us chasing behind. Here I jump because he was kind of done with his pull. I wanted to make sure I went across, so I just put in a big attack, ensuring instead of just doing like a steady pull that I would make it 600 plus watts. That's a big effort. Now I'm just riding hard to make sure I finish the job, make it across. Don't want to stop short and then end up getting dropped or popped off the back and never make it. But anyways, I make it on. ease off here. They'll go straight to the front. There's really no point to. Pretty tired at this point too. That was just a big effort. So I'm looking to recover. But you can see they're already attacking again off the front of this group. Some more people are going to come up from behind here. On like the top 10, but yeah, that guy swings off. I think that's Kyle Swanson. He kind of puts in an effort to bridge up to the solo guy. More people. You'll see, you kind of see them on the back camera now. They're coming up the right hand side of the screen. So they're attacking too. Kind of down the edge there. So they put in a big attack. This ends up being a crucial point in the race. This break that starts to go here. It wasn't a massive attack, but it just kind of slowly happens. There's two guys off the front, out of this corner. The guy up there in the black, I think he jumps. Nope, Ashton jumps. Then the guy in the black, and now a couple others go. Now they're going into this break here. I'm still pretty tired at this point, not really trying to get into a move, just trying to recover, late into the second race of the day. Don't quite have the kick always over and over, so they're starting to go. They are getting some separation. It's not massive at this point. Here's Kyle Swanson coming back. But there you see there's 4 or 5 of them, I think, off the front. I think maybe 6 total. And now they've got a solid gap. And that ends up being a big break. We're starting to ease up here. Only 26, 25. One more person jumps. I think that guy makes it across and makes it 6 up front. Behind, we're not really chasing. See, heart rate's way down. Speed's not super high. A lot of the major teams were up there too, so that's kind of deterring any chase. It's all just 1s and 2s who want to do anything behind. None of the big teams are willing to chase it down. So preem lap there, I guess. Further encouragement for the break to keep going. But yeah, this ends up being the race winning break. You'll see out of this corner, we sit up big time, 22 miles an hour, soft pedaling, 100 watts, 0 watts, no one in the front's doing anything, and they get a big gap. So they ended up sticking it. Here we are, 2 laps to go. We'll just take it to the finish here. At this point, I know the brake's pretty gone. I have a teammate right here, but I know the 2 of us, teammate right in front of me in green, but I know we can't chase it back just ourselves. So basically thinking about good positioning for a field sprint, want to get on the good sprinter's wheels. I know this isn't, with this course, it's only around 100 meters to the line from the final corner, so it's not a big drag race finish. It's really, if you can get good positioning into that corner, you can really do well. You're not going to lose really any places in the end, so it's all about positioning. It's really easy to lose it, but you can also gain it back on this course. It's pretty wide open, so fairly near the front. You can see the team kind of black and light blue kit, Premier Racing. They're kind of starting their lead out train. They did this in week 1 too, so I know, and they won the field sprint, so I know, at least I think they did. So I know that's a good spot to be if I can get up there. Lap enough to go here. I'm on Mike Stanley's wheel. He's a good sprinter. I know if I can follow him, that'd be a good spot to be. He has a big turn of speed. Coming through turn 3, I think I lost a bit of position. Nothing too major. The pace still isn't crazy high. Now Mike starts to move up a bit. I know I need to follow him, make sure I'm not drifting back, and find myself 30th wheel before you know it. It's right here, a pretty good spot, kind of where I'd like to be. Maybe a couple riders further up, but there's still time. One guy goes on the left for kind of a late race move, but kind of bring some teammates and a lot of the fuel goes with them. So now I'm definitely out of position with a lap and a bit to go. Here's the final corner up here. I think he's trying to lead out his teammate Grayson to bridge the gap to the breakaway possibly. So I know, gotta jump on that. But here we go, 1 lap to go. Certainly a lot harder now, going a lot faster. People are all trying to be at the front for the bunch sprint because everyone knows you got no chance if you're too far back. So now the big scrap for positions kind of starting. Still on Mike Stanley's wheel. Pretty good. Cal Swanson on the right. He's another good sprinter and just all-around good rider. Don't know this guy, but he's been doing well in the sprints too, in this Ram kit. So, don't want it up on the front here. That's why I'm kind of staying back a little bit. Could have maybe moved up a bit more. Kind of waited a bit too long there, possibly, and now I'm in the wind. Kind of away from everyone, but able to slap back in on Reggie's wheel in front. And now I'm kind of on the back of the Premier train almost. Just got squeezed out there. Would have liked to have gotten Kyle's wheel. But still pretty good positioning for half a lap to go, especially for me in this race. So now I'm on Carlson's wheel. I know he's been doing pretty well in the sprints lately. Some of them when he chooses to sprint, so I'm thinking he's going to sprint here. Here out of turn 3, this is where things really start to kick off. It's kind of a race to the corner now, so things are going to be fast and hard. Right when we get this dip up here, that's when the sprint kind of starts. You'll see. There goes that team on the right. I'd like to be their wheel. There's the perfect position, but you can see Carlson and a bunch of them get squeezed on the left. I go around here on the right, and now it's basically a sprint to this corner. I maxed out. You can see 126 RPM, 38 miles an hour, just spinning as fast as I can. There's a big tailwind here, but I make it on this wheel. Mike Stanley goes wide, the lead-up guy goes wide. I'm not sure what Mike was doing. And then from here, it's just an all-out sprint to the line, past another lead-out rider and Mike, and take 3rd in the bunch sprint, which gave me 9th in the race. There were 6 guys in the break, so that was really good for me. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe.